let's get to it. So here are the tools and supplies we are going to use in this video. So for the tools, you're going to use a screwdriver, drill gun, a 1/2-inch bit, a 9/64 bit, wire cutters, and double-sided tape. As for the supplies, you're going to use the plastic box, the toggle switch, either 14 or 16 gauge wire, and connectors. So in this clip here, I'm going to show you the actual finished version of this, and then I'm going to show you step by step how to actually make this. Alright, first step is the top. So we're going to take the plastic top off and we're going to drill a 1/2-inch hole through the middle of it. I tried to just eye it, so if you have a certain tool that you can measure the middle, awesome. So it helps to go from the inside to out, because the inside will be more, I guess, mangled and not as clean of a finish as if you went from the top to the bottom. So let's move to the actual bottom of it. So all you're going to do is drill 2 holes on the right side where the lines come out from the switch, and just make them in line as possible. You can connect the connectors once the wires are already through from the switch. Here's just how it will look like once you've had it all installed. So now you're going to insert the gasket that came with the kit onto the top of it. You do have to cut it to fit, but it's just you cut and then install and then good to go. Step 4, now we're going to screw the switch to the lid. So we're going to make sure the switch is in a good spot, and you're going to hold it with either hand, and then you're going to put the switch through the top of the lid, but make sure you unscrew the lock nut to make sure it's good. Then you're going to tighten it up, but not super tight, just finger tight. And then you are going to install the on-off plate, and then you're going to install the lock nut on top. I used a pair of pliers to make sure it's a good torque. Step number 5. So in this one, we are going to install the lid to the bottom. So you see how I pull out the wires a little bit so it takes up the slack. Just make sure the rubber gasket's not kinked in any way and it's off, because it won't seal right. But that's it. And then you would just install the 4 screws on the top. I use a screwdriver to screw it in and just snug, right, so it doesn't break. I then test the operation of the switch. Step number 6, cut and install connectors to the wires. So we are going to cut 2 pieces of wires approximately 8 inches apart, and then you would just splice off the ends of the wire and connect all of the females to each end of the wires. So there's 2 wires, so there will be 4 ends. So here's how it should look with all 4 female connector adapters done. So now would be a good time to install the male connectors on the wires coming from the switch. So now that everything is done, you have the switch and the 2 wires coming out, and the 2 adapters, you're just going to plug in the male and female, and you're good to go. So with the switch to attach it, I have double-sided tape I just put on the back of the switch, and it works perfect. It doesn't damage anything, and it holds pretty good.